We good? We're good, right? We've done this enough. We know what we're doing. We don't need to prepare.
Yeah, how many of these have we done? I don't
I think this is 40. This is episode
Ooh,
the big
wow,
40.
wow,
Uh,
and we
and
ruined it with quail.
in 5, 4, 3.
Tricks, you know what I'm talking about? That lettuce, that lettuce. Gotta get it. Gotta get it. That lettuce, that lettuce, focused all on the check. Yeah, all I want is lettuce. Yeah, just give me the lettuce. Yeah, just give me the lettuce.
Let us heads. We are back with a special edition of Please Let Us Golf, the podcast, the PGA Championship edition. You got Goldie, you got Adam tonight. The other two, God only knows what they're getting into, but they just couldn't make the time constraint I put on them to get this out by tomorrow morning. Adam, how are we doing tonight?
Doing good, man. I'm so excited to be here just after watching thrilling golf at Quail Hollow. Nothing gets me more fired up. I just want to go out and play golf. It's so inspiring.
I know we want
Um,
to talk about golf, but let me break the fourth wall immediately. Adam, he was just absolutely housing an Uncrustable before we started, and I kind of let it slide. I was like, "Are you eating an Uncrustable?" You're like, "Yeah, this is my dinner." I mean, it's pushing 9:30
it-
here, East Coast time.
it's
Got a
actually
big.
not the knockoff Uncrustable. It's the crustless
Oh,
from like Aldi or something.
you could have totally let that slide. We can't have knockoff Uncrustables. But look, we're here today. We got to honor right out of the gate Sir Scottie Scheffler, Mr. Fundamentals himself, our guy. He's right over my right over my shoulder here. So if you're listening, I got the Scottie Scheffler Golf Forever box. It's funny because next week we actually have an episode dropping with the folks from Golf Forever. Oh, if you've been following us on Instagram, we announced an official brand partnership with them a few weeks back. We've been trying not to inundate you every second, beating it over your head, golf forever, golf forever. But that podcast, we got a full hour. We're going to deep dive all things golf forever, why we're doing it, why we believe in it. But damn it, I got the trainer with me right here. So you're watching Adam shaking his head. Adam, what these things are about to fly off the shelves.
No marketing needed, man. Our guy, like, he's
He is the marketing, just keep
he is.
winning majors, go win 50% of your tournaments you're in, and it sells itself. But plenty more to come next week on that. So, Adam, I know you aren't a big fan of Quail. It's a major. Scottie, I texted you guys Thursday. This isn't a humble brag, but Scottie somehow played terrible Thursday and got it to 2 under. And I said, guys, this tournament's over. The only other top 20 player in the world, data golf top 20 player in the world that broke par, I think was Rahm. And I said, you know what? This is just a Scottie runaway. And by Friday, I had the local group text going. Who will take the bet? I was trying to take the over, started at 5.5, over under. Scottie going to run away with it, dropped it to 4.5. No one would take the bait, even up to today. Everyone's texting me as it got close for like 2 holes. I said, guys, I literally have it documented. I said, Scottie's finishing at 12 or 13 under, and he's clearing the field by 5. And what did he do? He finished, whatever it was. He finished at 11. Everyone else 6 under or better. Rahm, the pretender, barely even finishes in the top 10. But Adam,
Well,
any Scottie,
as
yeah,
much
Scottie
credit
thought.
as I want to give you on Thursday with that bold prediction, you look at that leaderboard, and I couldn't even say that it was like Corn Ferry adjacent. I think it was almost like Hooters Tour adjacent. I mean, it was like just no name after no name, just filling up the top of the leaderboard. Yeah,
And they call themselves the best field in golf. That's their motto, the PGA Championship. First of all, we love the PGA professionals. You can't be the best field in golf when 20 PGA professionals are in the field. Okay, that's just bottom line up front. Second of all, you might have deep fields, but you go to these courses that are just, produce some odd leaderboards from time to time and some pretty not exciting golf. So, Quail, let's just jump to it. I was going to wait, but I don't think either of us love Quail. I think I like it better than you do. It's fine for a tour stop. I think it played better in the fall when they had the President's Cup there better than it did coming out of like southeastern springtime when they had all that rain. We heard about the mud balls. But yeah, it just didn't it just it's not interesting golf to watch. It's hard and you had Scottie, just the dominator, just make it a juiceless tournament for the weekend. It was pretty self-evident that was what the outcome was going to be.
I think you're being kind. I mean, I'm ready to basically say that the PGA Championship is no longer a major. I mean, it was that bad, and then you got back to back years with Quail Hollow and
Aronimec?
or no, where
Oh,
we went
next year or last year?
last year.
Last year was it was pretty.
It's that it was
Oh,
it was that bad.
oh my God, Valhalla.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
So
back to back years. Like, gosh,
yeah,
it just makes me so mad because they go to these big ballpark places that can host
accommodate.
50,000 fans a day, and they build up the infrastructure and they sell the C-suites, and it's like I'm over it. Like, you have no identity. You go to these lifeless places. I mean, it's just it kills me. And like
Yeah.
you
No, I
got to
mean, well, I don't know what else they're going to do because they're booking their calendar out a decade in advance. So a lot of these places they're going to keep going back to. So I think
stop
if they,
going to PGA Tour stops. Like, that's
yeah,
what it felt like. This tournament I barely watched. It was like I
yeah.
mean, I can't wait to see the ratings. There's no way like that this
Oh, it
was
has to
I
be
mean,
bad.
it's gotta
And I
be
mean,
really bad.
I don't know. Like I'm trying to handle like how do we want to even do this today? Because we're not going to do. It's not like the Masters where we're going to go shot for shot and the drama and this and that. But I'll say this: even though the tournament was juiceless, there was really some secondary storylines. Some quotes came out that I think are worth just rapid firing through. So I'm gonna be referencing the phone because some of these are hot off the presses too. I'm trying to keep up with them. It's too much going on. First one out of the gates was Rory failed a driver test on Tuesday, which people that really don't follow golf overreacted, like all the COVID golfers reposting it. Did Rory cheat in the mat? These guys get random selected and fail driver tests all the time when they're beating as many balls as hard as they are, and these drivers are already made like to the max tolerance level. So if there's any perturbation, it fails. Now it is interesting. They targeted Rory the Tuesday before, and then after that, you know, I mean, I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, but it was interesting. He skipped media Thursday through Sunday, and people were reading into that they think that was linked to the driver. I don't think it had anything to do with the driver. I don't think Rory likes the PGA of America. You got to remember, PGA of America, not the PGA Tour, which we're going to get into that. And another thing about PGA Tour going after people for posting PGA Championship content. Um, I think Rory, he's big in the golf ball rollback camp. This is my conspiracy theory. So he's pro Augusta, pro USGA. PGA Championship is, I think the comms between Rory's camp and them, they've been at odds a little bit. And Rory was just like, I'm not here. I'm not here to glorify your event. I'm skipping all media. He kind of seemed laissez-faire about it, which sucks. I'm not justifying it. Like, you kind of have a place in the game where you need to be the face of it. But I think that's what it was. I think Rory's got a little pettiness to him, and it was just a power move to say, like, no, I'm not letting you have my voice give you sound bites. I think that's what it was.
Oh man, that's very deep state. Yeah, I don't know. It does make sense, like with him just being pissed off about his driver, just not wanting to talk to anybody. But it is weird they all 4 days. I figured maybe
It's
like okay Thursday, whatever. He had a terrible round.
I think he between that and the mud balls, I think and okay, let me talk about mud
Mud
balls for a
balls.
second. I think again, there nuance here. I think people immediately jump to a camp when pros bitch about stuff. They bitch about mud balls, people go, "Oh, these pampered fucks," these da 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 da. And then you have the other side that's like, well, it's you shouldn't be penalized for hitting a fairway and it's random. And I think it's a case by case basis. And what I'll say is man, not playing ball in hand Thursday eliminated like everybody you'd want to see golf on the weekend. And now the way Scottie played, would it have mattered? Maybe not. Everybody's playing the same course. I get it, but mud balls are a real issue because it's like a coin flip if you get them. B, it's another coin flip of where your ball rolls in relation to where the mud is. And you could just see some of those shots that were hit Thursday were nuclear bad by some of the best players in the world. And I know it seemed taboo, but if it was going to be that bad, I really think they probably should have played ball in hand on Thursday. Go ahead. I know you're a big disagreeer of that take.
And I hate hearing that. I mean, I get your point, but also I don't think most of these guys know what to do with like mud balls as far as like how to hit them. I mean, I think that's a
well, I think the PGA Tour has gone the other direction. They've become so like risk averse in their approach that if it rains like the week of a tournament, they default to ball in hand. So I get it, but again, the Quail Hollow fairways were immaculate. They were spiky. The lies are perfect. So, and these weren't just little mud. There was like full on clumps of it. You saw balls just corkscrewing through the air, and you can say it's sick, but I think it clearly screwed with some top tier players, and maybe that just shows why Scottie's so good.
Okay, well, what I can't spin is apparently Johnny Vegas, apparently all the other Hooters tour guys didn't have any issues with mud balls. So
they probably did. They may have handled it better, and it could just be like, look, for every one of them, there was a counterpart of theirs that didn't play well. I think it really just introduced another like elimination of 50% of the field. Like it's probably what it was, but it's a fair point. Like we dogged on that leaderboard, but hey, there was a ton of guys that shot 3-4 under that first day with quote mud balls everywhere. Maybe they just didn't catch them. Who knows? But that's enough on these mud balls. What a silly thing. So let's talk about everybody's favorite for a second. This has been covered, so I don't want to spend too much time, but I do want to read our quote from our guy Blocky, Michael Block, everyone's favorite PGA teaching professional. I'm going to kind of summarize it, but after firing an 82 on Friday, which we all love a solid 82 in tournament play, I've been there myself a couple times. Basically what he's saying, he said that the it's kind of funny part is I wish there was a huge crowd on every hole. Because that's where I hit my best shots. When there's no one around, I hit my worst shots. That's something that I need more in my life is a bigger crowd. I just need to play a little better so it could happen. I could only imagine what would happen if I've been playing really good this week and I got that bigger crowd on Friday. So his 82, so you want to hate on the guy's mud balls on Thursday. His 82 is because he didn't play good enough early to generate the buzz. He didn't have the buzz, so he didn't have the crowd. He didn't have the crowd, so he couldn't hold it. Who, me? Rory? No way. Rory, that go in? No moments from Blocky because the crowd was juiceless.
This guy's a psycho, man. Like
I kind of respect it because he said it with a straight face.
And like you knew it. I mean, you knew it at Oak Hill when like you could just tell this dude's sick. Like your 15 minutes of fame is up, bro. Like, come on.
But he's got an exemption into the Chuck Schwab next week or something like that. I saw.
So how did he get an exemption into this?
No, he qualified for it. So it was like because he was in the PGA Championship, PGA Professional Championship qualifier, but 20 guys qualify. So it's not like, I mean, it's still an awesome achievement, but so he earned it. I think he finished like T3 in that.
Dude's electric, man. Gosh, what a psycho.
Speaking of electric, I had a note on here. I was gonna say, does Bryson maybe have some scar tissue building up? Like he's got a really good public outward facing persona. He's got the smiles going. All of his answers seem pretty good when he's doing his one-on-ones. Bryson, what's your game plan today? I'm going to smile, hit it as far as I can, find it, hit it again, that kind of stuff. But he's, on one hand, you could say like he is the top 2 or 3 most consistent player in the world the last 2 years. He's like flirting with every major leaderboard, right? But these second places, third places are starting to kind of rack up a little bit. So, do you think there's a potential for scar tissue? And while you're thinking about that, because that's what I'm going to make you reply or respond to first, let me read you this quote that just dropped before we went live. Bryson on the golf ball, specifically on the golf ball not flying straight enough. He said, "Quote: What I really think needs to happen, being pretty transparent here, is just get a golf ball that flies a little straighter. Everybody talks about how straight the golf ball flies. Well, upwards of 190, like Rory and myself, it's actually quite difficult to control the golf ball. I'm going to work my butt off to have to make that happen. It's all up to manufacturing. We'll see what happens, but I'm keen on finding something and I'm keen on improving. I'm excited for that." So, first of all, is there scar tissue building up? Second of all, have you noticed every time he finishes second or third, it wasn't me. It's the ball just wasn't going. I'm too good for the ball. I'm too good for the driver head. I again another psychopath that I respect, but Adam, a lot to unpack there. Just let me have it. What are your thoughts?
No, I do feel like a Bryson explosion is coming. He's been kind of pegged as like, he's he's a changed man. Like everybody loves him now. I just feel like he's about to turn heel, right?
Yeah,
It kind of seems like it's building that way.
it would be
And
nice.
I mean, look, winning majors is really hard. Scottie Scheffler's kind of made it look very easy. And what he won the US Open just a year ago, right?
Yep.
So
Think
I don't
about that
know.
too. The last four major winners, dude. Like before we went live, I was trying to look up some stuff, some tidbits, and think about that. The last four are Xander, uh, Rory, Scottie, and Bryson. And if you ask who are the four best players in the world, it just never happens as a carousel like that. It's actually pretty sick. It makes you even more mad that the game is fractured because like the hitters are hitting. You wish you had maybe you can't have every major where you're just going to have this duel to the end. But it's pretty sick. But
I mean, I'm
sorry.
on that list. I mean, you're missing Spieth, but if he was in there, then I think I would agree with that. But
He's just right outside that cut line right now.
as far as that quote, what like dog, like another dude, this is the issue. This is the problem. This is like what Augusta National and the USGA, like this is why we're doing a rollback, dog. Like this is exhibit A.
Yeah, we need a golf ball that curves more, not quote flies straighter at 190.
Right, man, he's in his own world. But yeah, I do feel like he's turning heel soon. It's coming, baby.
Yeah, yeah, I mean,
I'm not.
I still just find him probably the most entertaining to watch, though. Like it's because he is so good at golf. Like, let me just full stop that. Like, it isn't just how it's insane how well he drives it with how hard he hits it. But then these quotes come up, and it just reminds you of like, oh yeah, man, this guy. Like you said, that I think you put it the best
There's
way. The heel turn is coming, and I mean. Speaking of heel turns, the previous heel turn, John Rahm, which again, we're past the point of guys went to live and you're hating. I think the ship has sailed, but um, I, I think people were getting really excited about this Rahm surge, some Saturday and then early Sunday. And he was playing good. And like, don't get me wrong, a Rahm Scottie duel would have been nice, but at no point did I even think that Rahm was gonna flirt with Scottie on a course like Quail Hollow. It's just Scottie. Everyone, I mean, I had the text going, "Oh, Scottie's got the pulls." I'm like, not really. He's aiming left because there's like double trouble on the right on these holes, and he played it probably a little conservative, and yeah, and probably had a little tug. But I'm like, but when a push comes to shove, did you see Scottie play this back nine? Like he's just gonna step up there and hit everything to 15 feet. Like he's not coming back on the back nine. It's just there's too many birdies to be had. So and then Rahm, finishing at +4 after getting it to 9. It was pretty was a pretty rough way to end there with a couple doubles to close it out.
Yeah, I mean, is Rahm still Rahm? I mean, like he did show up today for a brief period, but I mean, just going back the last handful of majors, he hasn't really been there. So and it's hard to it's hard to tell as far as like results on live, current form, but I mean, I know everybody gets excited about Rahm and like kind of includes him in that group of like, Rory, Scottie, Xander, DeChambeau, like as the best golfers in the world. But is he like? I don't know. I mean,
I think he is, but I just truly think that Bryson is the anomaly. But clearly across the board, playing on live is not conducive to peaking for majors. It's again, I know there's outliers, but there's
yeah,
plenty of data now.
Chapultepec,
Yeah, like there's plenty of data at this point that shows a strong correlation to the drop off in performance for those guys that went. Again, outlier being Bryson, but nearly everybody else has had an inverse trend, right? So
I'm also
it's
kind of sick of seeing like Joaquin just, I don't
well,
know, top
he
10
finally
everything.
well,
It's
but
like, dude,
he finally got this major. Like, he hasn't played great in majors, but he did T8 it. You know, he had a bad
he's played
Thursday.
well at Augusta. I feel
Yeah,
like
he
he's
played
had a
okay.
couple of top 10s, but
But with him being the number one player in the world from the live stands, you know, he's it's just again another game that I feel like it's suited for certain golf. It just doesn't look. Maybe I'll eat my words. I don't have nothing against him. He's got an interesting swing and he's a great golfer, but I don't think uh, I don't think he's like major championship event to event. I was gonna say weekend out, but like every major, I don't think like, oh, Joaquin, he's gonna be the stalwart that's gonna be up there in the top 5, 10 of every leaderboard. But uh,
this major actually not having Gooch there, I think I would actually agree that it's not, it's not a true major without
got it.
Gooch there.
Yeah, let's get back on that. But we did have well, speaking of, so Michael Block was 15. I'm just pulling up the
Are you
back
going
end
down
of
the leaderboard, man?
I'm doing the backwards. So the first big names to miss the cut. I mean, you got like Adam Hadwin and stuff. Dustin Johnson. Okay, Dustin Johnson,
Adam
12
Hadwin?
over. Dustin Johnson, 12 over. Phil Mickelson,
All
9
right,
over.
hold on,
Brooks
DJ.
kept okay.
Is like
Okay, let's
DJ is his career is over, right?
he
I mean,
doesn't. But the difference is I just don't think
he doesn't
I know.
care.
Yeah,
He's truly the guy that went, got paid, and is like, all right, I'm just gonna hang out on my boat and like
I'm
just
sure, yeah,
try to
I'm
get some
sure
blue
he's hitting
pins.
like a small bucket the week before the major to see if he can just like find lightning in a bottle. But Brooks 9 over, dude. Like it just sucks. Like it just seeing these guys, you know, and again,
Was this
this is
Phil's last PGA? Oh, no. He hold on, is PGA lifetime?
not a lifetime extent. No, PJ is not a lifetime.
Is it 5 or 10 years, you know?
I thought it was 10 if you win it.
Okay, so
But
he's
then
good for
I think he might, but then they
but
do a ton of
His US Open's about to run out, I think.
yeah. I mean, so and I don't envision him breaking 90 at Oakmont. So, but yeah, also, but PGA of America gives out special exemptions like candy. But,
Not
so,
surprising.
I mean, so yeah, I mean, you got a lot of these big name live guys, and then of course, you know, Spieth missed the cut by a shot, Jake Knapp missed the cut by a shot, Septic Tank, Lowry, Cashmere, Keith, JT coming in with all the heat. You know, obviously he's got the pedigree at the course, playing great. And Ludwig, a ton of that's the thing, a ton of huge names. So this is the only thing I'll say about mud balls. A ton of huge names and top 15 players missed the cut by a shot or two. And that's where it's like, hey, if a handful of those guys were even as opposed to +2, and you saw that a 65 was available on Saturday, it just would have added some juice to the field that if you could have had a couple of those guys make a run. But overall, like still probably a slap in the face of Scottie. He wasn't losing it. Let's see, man. I got on the okay. I'm not going to do a no laying up thing here and just bitch about coverage. I'll just say this. Um, ESPN Plus, on one hand, it's like great. You get 4 or 5 featured groups. You get to watch all their shots, and you get to, if you're a junkie, you can watch it Thursday, Friday, all day. I'm telling you, the commercial load on it is a joke. You're already paying whatever it is, X amount, $100 a year for it, or if it's part of a Disney Plus package, whatever the subset is. Dude, I'm not exaggerating when I'm like, every 3 minutes there was a full minute commercial, and I was like, it starts becoming passive watching. It's just on, and I go like, what's the point of who's paying? Who are the fucking idiots paying for these commercials? Is what I really want to know. There's no way. I don't give a shit what your marketing analytics say. There's no way people are watching that and then they like have a positive experience to go buy your product.
They don't care about the TV audience, man. Like, that's what drives me nuts about the PGA. It's all about the on-site experience. How many people can we fit into this golf course? How many grandstands, C-suites, like these all-inclusive packages? It's just, it's disgusting, man. Honestly, like, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's capitalism run amok.
Yeah,
Gross.
it's greed. It's the greed side that we sound like, but it does suck. It just ruins the product.
So I was reading something. We can cut this, but so
no, if you were reading it, we're not cutting it.
The luxury hospitality build out at Quail Hollow is larger than any other PGA championship. Double-decker structures around holes 16, 17, and 18. Also,
the Green Mile.
And in 2023 at Quail Hollow, a new tee box was added on 13 to help make way for a 500-person club PGA premium offering that sold daily tickets for $1,200. Like, that's from Front Office Sports, by the way. I'll give them credit, but like, that's what I'm talking about, man. It's just like, get out of here, PGA. I'm ready. Hey, as much as I make fun of Sawgrass, like, at this point, maybe Sawgrass is more of a major than the PGA.
I literally had this quote. You didn't know I had it teed up that I feel like winning Sawgrass might be a bigger deal than winning the PGA champ, which sounds insane because I don't love but Sawgrass is like a better test of golf. I think the field is actually better. The guys there's a juice to it. Maybe it's the consistency that even though we pick at Sawgrass from time to time, it's more of hating on Sawgrass for their ridiculous public rate, not the golf course itself. But yeah, it's like, imagine if you're at PGA of America and you can go anywhere and you just choose these venues that like it's because they don't believe the venue matters. And I'm just telling you, there was zero juice going into this tournament. Not one person I knew even mentioned the PGA Championship going into the PGA Championship. And I that was different. So go a couple years back when they were going to Southern Hills after the renovation. Whether you love that course or not, there was juice going into it. There were some stories. People I had my father-in-law do the Jerry test of, I heard they're going to the new that Southern Hill's been renovated, and like, and I think those things matter when it gets into that second tier, not just the sicko golfer. You need some things to help generate buzz. Quail Hollow is the antithesis of buzz. Whether it's a good golf course or not is almost immaterial. It's just like, oh, that course they play 80 PGA events at, and the that they just had the President's Cup at, and
yeah, it really hurts it when if it's a site they go to every year in, year out. It's hard to separate that from the PGA. Like, it's
like marketing 101. You get this whole opportunity of selling a majesty of a place, whether it's bullshit or not, doesn't even matter, right? Like, you get to go, oh my God, it could be a unique part of the country. It could be there was a renovation, a restoration. There was this historical golf event that occurred there in yesteryear. But with Quail, it's like, I mean, come on, And this is who won? Webb Simpson's their big winner. Come on, man.
I will say the next 2 years. So next year they go to Aronimink, which I think will be pretty sick. I know it's another one of those Philadelphia courses that kind of all runs together. But
I mean, Philly Cricket Club was better than Quail.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But then after that, in 27, they will. I'm curious to see Frisco.
Yeah.
I know usually Texas courses, everyone doesn't get
it passes the eye test. I'm just worried. Only thing I'm worried about is for PGA Tour professional golfers and Gil and this width and angles thing that's really good for probably like high level amateurs, but for PGA Tour major championship golf, like, is this just going to be like a Wyndham Clark situation again, where it's like the prerequisite is 330 and then figure it out from there? And I know people argue, oh, the distance is always, but it's kind of one of those. I don't think there's going to be a ton of penal rough. It's going to have more LACC vibes of a little bigger, but it's going to have quirkiness to it, like a ton of risk reward. I think it looks awesome, but I'll be curious to how it actually plays. It's like what they thought with LACC. Like, it's going to be this hard, impossible thing. And then it's like, oh, but these guys break all your rules because they could the ball flies so straight for everyone except Bryson. They can hit it 300 plus and take, all the problem out.
But I mean, it's interesting because it was built for the modern professional golfer. I mean, it was literally built to host the PGA Championship.
Because I think they can make it like 7,800 yards or something too. So that's that gives you some real estate to, based on the conditions.
Baby.
And you can get windy Texas days too, right? So you could get. I think that's probably one of those courses, probably similar to the Ocean course in that regard. You can make it so long, but hey, if you get docile conditions, guys can score. But you add 15 mile per hour, and all of a sudden it plays literally 5-6 shots harder. But yeah, so. All right, man. So, I got one more story. I wanted to start with this, but I just felt like it was too negative. We wanted to start with the positivity, but man, we've bitched about the PGA Tour a lot. Specifically like trying to start an organic social media brand podcast. If you touch I know you say, well, it's their intellectual property, but every sports league in the world at this point has no issue with like clip sharing, edits, overlays. Outside of still images, if you do anything that the PGA Tour is associated with, all day, every day, they are DCMAing you. This is basically IP strike violations. And if you get one through Meta or Instagram, there's no recourse. They don't even validate if it's legitimate. So we say all that because we were victims of this last year during the PGA Championship. I posted a clip of a shot with some kind of funny overlay caption and got an immediate notice. Your account's shut down. We didn't know how long for. They give you a link for recourse. The link doesn't work. You call, no human beings. You're just screwed. And luckily, about a week later, our account opened back up. Well, I say all that to Derek Dominski Golf. This is a PGA teaching professional out of Tucson, Arizona, like teaching professional sectional teacher of the year, coaches PGA Tour players, had some of his own videos of his players, or and a mixture of that with like from the range from the PGA Championship and the apps, and posted on his social media of like, hey, these are things my guys are working on to kind of do some analysis. His account, 10 years of account, big name in golf, or at least in the teaching side, account shut down, no access, no recourse. And so it's got a ton of people that are in like the professional golf ranks, like trying to reach out to help this guy. But yeah, man, like it's just insane. That's like, again, I know we railed on Live a little bit in this pod, but if you want me to be honest, the company I hate is the PGA Tour. It's like they're just lifeless, soulless losers. I don't like, unless you're in their little creator bubble, which they
this isn't even their event though.
Well, that's the funny thing. Thank you for clarifying that. They don't even own the rights to the PGA Championship, but if you touch anything that is a PGA Tour player, they think, I mean, maybe legally they do, but you can't use anything with one of them. So especially if you use a big name, but this guy, I don't even see, I don't even know who his players were, but I'm assuming there was some like guys that were second, third tier PGA Tour players that were playing good on Thursday. He posts some pictures. This is what we're working on. I mean, it's the guy's career. And oh, by the way, it's the PGA Championship that has 20 teaching professionals in it. And then one of your teaching professionals is talking about the tournament and like broadcasting how important PGA teaching professionals are for professional golfers. And the fucking, and again, and the thing is, this is how stupid it is. All it took was it's some fucking dipshit 22-year-old legal staffer that works for PGA Tour.
That's what I was about to say. It's some just 20-year-old like that doesn't know anything.
Yeah, that files it, and then it's just done. You know, like there's no like there's not even a thought process that goes into it. So you know, man, like
Yeah,
again,
what's crazy is this guy's big enough to where, like, I'm sure the PGA Tour will be like made aware, but what are they gonna do? Are they gonna contact Meta? Like,
yeah,
they can't do anything. So
I
it's
mean,
just like,
and he might be the exception where there might be enough high level brass that gets, you know, some activation from there. But it's like, again, guys, and that's a big name. So it's happened to accounts all the time. There's endless stories of people that are like grinding, doing interesting things. And they're like, well, my account got shut down and I've been following their procedures for the last 6 months and I just can't get a response on anything. So it's that's why if you see our content is associated with PGA Tour players, unless it's the Augusta National, like you basically can't touch it. I mean, you really can't. And even some of those creators that have approval, you'll notice all they really do is share basically the PGA Tour's version of the cut. Like you can't put an edit, an overlay, an opinion, humor, caption. You're dead if you do it. So whatever, man. That's one. Yeah, we're growing the game by just not operating in the 21st century.
yeah,
Well,
maybe Phil had a point.
yeah, maybe he
You know,
did. I think that's the sad part is I think he didn't handle it well and hasn't, but he really did have a point. Dealing with some dipshits over there. So Adam, anything else? I mean, we don't have to belabor the point. Are we, you know, we got past the PGA, we got Oakmont coming up. Hey, we got US Women's Open, Aaron Hills, you know, we got some old Aaron Hills content to brush back off.
Absolutely. I'm excited about that. It's
You
always
know,
fun when you get to watch one of those courses you just played, and
yeah,
it's
and I
really
have
cool.
evolving opinions on Aaron Hills. The further I get from it, you know, some things that it's like, I still don't think it's great. But maybe I was a little harsh on some things
Yeah.
that really could have just been solved if just took a caddy. You know, like it's probably a
sure.
me problem.
No, I mean, you would go back, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I would go back. Like, that's the hard. We're not doing an Aaron Hills pod, but the hard part about Aaron Hills is it is like the standalone property. So would I do it in conjunction with another Wisconsin golf trip? Probably, but I wouldn't feel like I have to do it. You know, that's the thing. Like I would do it and I would be excited about it, but I don't feel the need to go do it. Where there's a lot of other places where I'm like, oh my God, I have to go back there. Cool
sure.
to check the box. But yeah, then we got Oakmont. You know you know, it's creator soup out there with these Oakmont videos on YouTube. But man, I don't watch like any YouTube golf anymore, and it's mainly because I do so much with this. I
We
just
didn't
don't
get the
have,
invite.
and we
A
didn't
little
get it.
concerned.
I think we're just too honest in our opinions. We're just right on we're on the cut line, just like Spieth,
Hey,
to be the
if
next guy.
if Oakmont wants to have us out, I have nothing but great things to say about Oakmont. So
Yeah, Oakmont is
please have us out.
my top 3 favorite courses. I don't know why, but it just is. But man, I watched the good guys play it, and they brought like their A crew, like the Brad guy that was you know, he played in the Masters, and the other Sean guy that fills in, and he's like a pro, and but then they had with Garrett and Matt. Man, that golf course is hard as shit. dude. Like if you're,
I got
I know
destroyed.
yeah. I mean, if it's long, because those guys hit the ball a mile, like they would be in the top couple, 25 percentile of PGA Tour players, even. But man, it is a bloodbath out there, and the greens weren't even firm. I just it's so weird because we haven't really had a. When's the last time there's been a U.S. Open where there's been like it's a bloodbath out there? We keep talking about it. It's going to happen, and every year we go, and you wonder if like has the game progressed past the point. I
Probably
know part.
Shinnecock.
Yeah, that was probably, but that was a while ago now.
Yeah, that was a long time.
But Oakmont, look, I know we sit there and go, oh, the winning score is going to be +4, and it's not. But I'm just saying, like, whoever shoots, like, you fucking shoot under par there over 4 days, dude. You deserve everything. You deserve it all, man. It's gonna be insane. But it's
I
pretty
love it.
funny how excited. And so if you're watching, and I'm like smiling cheek to cheek talking about Oakmont, and I'm just depressed coming out of the PGA Championship. So, all right, Adam. Anything else? Your Uncrustable digest at this point. Your knockoff.
Yeah, I had a honey one right before we came on too. So had a honey one and a grape jelly one.
Well,
That was my dinner.
You can do that because now you got the Golf Forever swing trainer system.
Yes, thank you, Golf Forever, for keeping me in shape.
If you want it, golfforever.com/plug, or use Chris Como code, promo code plug PLUG at checkout. You get 15% off your purchase. But next week, man, got a full deep dive on it, so I won't beat you over the head with that.
Yeah, if you want to eat a case of Uncrustables on the course, you just got to have that Golf Forever with you.
You got to stay loose if you're going to be eating them Uncrusties. But all right, for Goldie, for Adam, lettuce heads, as always, stay plugged, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
And remember the Kobe paradox.